You finish dinner at 8 p.m., skip breakfast until noon, and call it a 16-hour fast. But after 60, that same routine can help your blood sugar or quietly steal muscle if you do it wrong. That is the truth most fasting advice leaves out. Intermittent fasting is usually studied in younger or middle-aged adults, not people in their 60s and 70s, with blood pressure medicine, diabetes medicine, weaker thirst signals, and less muscle reserve. So the question is not simply, does fasting work? The better question is, can it improve your metabolism without making you weaker, dizzier, or more likely to fall? After 60, the body changes the rules. Insulin sensitivity often declines, so blood sugar can stay higher for longer after meals. Belly weight becomes harder to move. Blood pressure may creep up. Inflammation can feel like stiff joints, slower recovery, and low energy. This is why time-restricted eating, where you eat all your calories inside a daily window, can be attractive. It gives your body more hours without constant incoming food, which may help insulin settle down and encourage the body to shift toward stored energy. But there is another side. Muscle loss also speeds up with age. Your appetite may not warn you when you are undereating. Your thirst may not warn you when you are dehydrated. And if you take insulin, sulfonylureas, water pills, or certain blood pressure medicines, fasting can change how your body responds. A plan that looks clean and disciplined on paper can become lightheadedness in the kitchen, shaky hands at the grocery store, or a fall getting out of bed. That is not a small thing. Losing muscle after 60 is not just about how your arms look. It is the difference between rising from a chair without pushing off, carrying your own bags, climbing stairs without fear, and having enough energy to enjoy your grandchildren instead of watching from the couch. One bad dizzy spell can make a person afraid to walk alone. One fall can change independence fast. This is why the usual fasting message, just eat less often, is too simple for older adults. The goal is not to win a fasting contest. The goal is to keep your mind clear, your legs strong, your blood sugar steadier, and your life bigger. The warning signs matter. If fasting leaves you newly tired, cold, weak, shaky, irritable, headachy, or foggy, do not brush it off as age. If you feel dizzy when standing, notice dark urine, urinate less, lose weight without trying, sleep poorly from hunger, or suddenly struggle with stairs or groceries, your fasting window may be too aggressive. These can be signs of dehydration, low blood sugar, low blood pressure, or not enough protein and calories. The research is promising, but it is not magic. In adults with metabolic syndrome, an 8 to 10 hour eating window added to usual care has been linked with improvements in weight, waist size, blood pressure, blood sugar markers, and cholesterol patterns. Earlier eating windows also appear more favorable for many metabolic outcomes than eating late into the night. But the strongest evidence is not for dramatic longevity claims or guaranteed autophagy. It is for modest, practical metabolic improvements when the plan is done safely. So here is the pivot. After 60, the sweet spot is usually not all-day grazing, but it is also not extreme fasting. A smart starting point is a 10-hour eating window. For example, eating between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. or 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. That gives your body a 14-hour overnight break without forcing you into a harsh routine. Some people who are overweight or have metabolic syndrome may do well with an 8-hour window, but only if they can still eat enough protein, drink enough fluids, and review medications with a clinician first. The first meal matters. Do not break a fast with a pastry and coffee and then wonder why your energy crashes. After 60, your meals have to work harder for you. Your first meal should send a clear signal to your muscles that you are not starving them. Start with protein. Many older adults may need around 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day to support muscle. And some people at higher risk, especially during weight loss or illness, may need around 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kilogram. For a 160-pound adult, that is roughly 73 to 88 grams a day, and possibly 88 to 110 grams in higher risk situations. You do not need to obsess over every gram, but you do need to stop treating protein as a side dish. A practical target is about 25 to 35 grams of protein per meal. That amount gives older muscles a stronger building signal than a tiny breakfast and one huge dinner. 2 eggs give about 12 grams of protein, so eggs are a good start, but not the whole meal. Pair them with plain Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, salmon, chicken, turkey, tofu, or beans so the meal actually reaches a useful protein level. Plain Greek yogurt is one of the easiest fasting-friendly foods for older adults. A single-serve high-protein Greek yogurt often gives 15 to 20 grams of protein, depending on the brand. Add berries and a small handful of walnuts or almonds, and you have protein, fiber, healthy fats, and polyphenols in one simple bowl. Blueberries are not a special fasting cure, but they fit beautifully into a healthy aging pattern. Cottage cheese or ricotta can also help, especially if appetite is lower or chewing is harder. Dairy protein supports lean mass, and dairy also contributes calcium, which matters when weight loss or undereating could threaten bone health. This is one reason fasting should never become accidental malnutrition. Seafood is another strong choice. Salmon, sardines, and trout bring protein plus omega-3 fats. Sardines with bones also provide calcium. The National Institute on Aging notes that older adults should aim for 8 to 10 ounces of seafood per week. That is not a complicated target. It could be salmon one night and sardines, or trout another. You are supporting muscle, heart health, and a steadier metabolism at the same time. For meat eaters, chicken breast, turkey, and lean beef are dense, complete protein sources. For plant-based eaters, lentils, black beans, edamame, and tofu can work well, especially because they bring fiber that supports blood sugar and cholesterol. The key is planning. Some research suggests older adults may get a stronger muscle-building response from certain animal proteins than from plant-only meals, with the same calories and protein. But that does not mean plant-based eating cannot work. It means you have to be more deliberate with total protein. Add leafy greens like spinach or kale for potassium, magnesium, folate, and overall nutrient density. Add extra virgin olive oil, walnuts, or almonds, so the meal is satisfying and you are not raiding the pantry. 2 hours later, healthy fats slow digestion and make a shorter eating window more sustainable. Hydration is not optional. Mayo Clinic notes older adults may not feel thirsty until they are already dehydrated. During the fasting hours, water is still allowed. Plain water, unsweetened tea, or black coffee may fit many fasting plans, but do not use coffee to ignore dizziness or weakness. If your urine is dark or you are lightheaded when standing, that is information. Pay attention to it. Also, fasting works better when paired with muscle use. You do not need a gym identity. You need your legs, hips, back, and arms to keep receiving the message that they are needed. Simple resistance training like chair stands, wall push-ups, bands, light weights, or carefully supervised strength work helps protect the very tissue fasting can put at risk if food intake is too low. The timing matters too. If you can choose, lean earlier. An eating window from 8 to 6 is usually more metabolism friendly than noon to 10 at night. Late eating can lead to heavier dinners, worse sleep, and more nighttime snacking. Earlier, eating lines up better with the body's natural daily rhythm. There are people who should not start fasting casually. If you take insulin or blood sugar lowering drugs, talk with your clinician first. If you have frailty, low body weight, an eating disorder history, chronic kidney disease, osteoporosis, recent hospitalization, repeated dizziness, confusion, falls, or unintended weight loss, fasting needs medical guidance. Food timing should never put your safety at risk. The most important truth is this. After 60, intermittent fasting is not about proving discipline. It is about creating a gentle overnight rest from food while protecting muscle, hydration, medication safety, and real-life strength. The fasting window is only one tool. Protein, earlier meals, whole foods, resistance exercise, and water are the foundation. This week, try the simple version. Choose a 10-hour eating window for 3 days, preferably earlier in the day. Put 25 to 35 grams of protein in your first meal. Drink water before you feel thirsty. Notice your energy, balance, sleep, mood, and strength. If you feel better, you have useful feedback. If you feel worse, your body is not failing. The plan needs adjusting. You are not trying to become younger. You are trying to stay capable, clear, steady, and present for the life you still want to live. That is the real benefit worth chasing.